Welcome once again to Manga Goblin. I'm Trix, of course, and this is the basement. And yep, it's the weekly manga review. As you can see, it's Domestic Girlfriend, or Domo ex Cano, or Love and Dimela in French. Domestic Girlfriend was a manga that was produced from 2014 to 2020. Domestic Girlfriend was published in a shonen magazine owned by Kashanda, and it was digitally released for English under their imprint division. There are 28 volumes, 27 I believe you can get in English at the moment. Okay, so that's all the things that you can read about the manga and stuff. So let's get down to it. In Domestic Girlfriend, there are three characters that matter: Rui, Natsuo, and Hina. To say this manga had an ending that was a haha gotcha or psych, to say that the ending was unexpected by some people when you have someone in a relationship with another person for 150 chapters and even have a child with them and even have a marriage certificate that they're both going to sign. But guess what? Just because someone saved someone's life in a shocking chapter, that person just goes, no, my sister would be too sad, even though she's in a vegetative coma and therefore might never recover. She'll be too sad if I marry you. You were dating for 150 chapters. That was like, what, 3 years in the manga? Oh, and it also has the psych time skip as well in one chapter. Yeah, 5-year time skip, which has Natsuo, of course, well, as a writer, supporting his kid, Rui, and the vegetative Hina. And yes, there's going to be some spoilers, but this manga has been done to death and exposed on many websites and videos that mine doesn't really make a difference. Anyway, let's look at the three characters. Natsuo starts off as a boy that has a massive crush on his teacher. He wants to date her, and basically that's it. That's Natsuo and Hina. Natsuo meets Rui in like a mixer, and they both sneak off, and Rui goes, I want to sleep with you just to know how it feels like. And because Natsuo is still pointing over Hina, he does so. Okay, so from that, Natsuo's father marries Hina and Rui's mother. So guess what? It's step-sibling incest. Okay, it's not proper incest, but it's in there. So, okay, Rui's weird. It's like she has some sort of communication difficulties, so I'm not sure exactly what it would be, but she has a hard time expressing herself. I think that's probably because of her parents' divorce. I think that's the reason that they give later on, but it feels a little more than that, so we'll just leave that from here. Rui is probably the best female character of the main three, because Hina is basically selfish, and then she acts on this weird, I'm protecting Natsuo by not dating him later on, and running off. Natsuo then pines for 30 chapters, and then he gets together with Rui for 150 chapters. They sort of break up at one point, but they get back together when Natsuo flies to America, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so there's a massive cast of side characters, and these side characters would be fine if Natsuo would be a character that was part of an anthology, and he would be the character that would put the anthology together. It's not handled like that at all. It's a love story that slots in these stupid arcs with characters that might exist for 60 chapters, they might exist for 10 chapters, they might exist for 5 chapters, and then they disappear. There's the romance between Hina and Natsuo and Rui. Right. Okay, so that's basically everything. You don't really need to know any of the side chapters. If you're really interested, I could make a massively long video going through each arc and each side chapter and which ones were the best. That doesn't really matter. The only side character that does matter is Mari. He's an owner of a bar and a coffee shop. It's very confusing if it's an actual bar or a coffee shop. It could be both, and yeah, at some points it's distinctly one and then distinctly another. Mari is basically an ex-Yakuza character who also happens to be gay, and he's the best character in the manga. He is the only character in the end that I was staying reading for. I wanted to see his adventures far more than the love story that was at the central core of the manga. And in fact, when they did the psych, I'm giving up with Rui, I abandoned the manga and only came back to it for this review. So I read a few more chapters and it didn't change my opinion on it that it started off great. It was really cool for a while because the arcs were interesting. I like the side characters. Example, Natsuo has a writing mentor. He meets his daughter at university and he brings them together, which is cool. But it doesn't really matter in the long run because it's a train wreck. So because I have this weird rating system out of 5, I can't really give this one, unfortunately, because it's such a dumpster fire and it's such a letdown. I will give it 2, only for the art and the 0.5 chapters. As many have said, are the saving graces. They're very ecchi, but they're decent. So basically that's it. That's the only way I'm going to grade it. Otherwise, just 5 dumpster fires out of 5. Read it for the arcs. Read it for the arcs, but don't read it for the love story, because the love story would drive you insane. Oh, and a side note, The waifu wars on certain forums at the point when Rui just gave up were insane. They really were. It was like, how can Sasuga do this? Didn't she do something like this with good ending? No. Good ending was good. This is rubbish. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching, if you are, and have a great time, and bye bye.